Hey there, welcome to another Slightly Redneck video. Today I want to talk a little bit about some gardening, specifically container gardening. I've got quite a few things planted outside already. I'm running out of room, so I'm looking for some ideas to, put some other things in some containers. And this is something that I worked out here that I think is going to work pretty well. I've got these old ice cream tubs, or 1 gallon ice cream tubs is what they are. I don't think that the name matters or anything like that, but I use these things for all kinds of stuff. I save the containers up. When I go to pick blackberries, use them for, container blackberries, carry my rabbit feed out to the rabbits, whatever. Love these little 1 gallon containers with the lids on them, but, they don't last that long. This one here is kind of cracked. Oops. This one here is kind of cracked. It's already, the handles have come off of it. It was about time to trash it. Before I threw it away, I have 2 of them that are kind of in that condition. This one's got a crack on it here. It's starting to get pretty old, and I thought, you know what? These things fit together. Stack one on top of each other, and there's about there's a gap there of about 2 inches or so between the bottom of the other container and the bottom of this container that sits inside of it. And I thought, this would make a pretty good little self-watering container for an herb or something like that. And if you're not familiar with self-watering containers, the way they work is you've got a reservoir there where the water is going to flow. You need some kind of wick that goes from the top container where your plants are sitting and the dirt is sitting down into the water, and that will wick the water up to the rest of the plants. So this actually works out really, really well, and I'll show you what I did here. Let me get stuff cleaned out here. So I took the container here, and you can see I cut 2 holes in the bottom of it. This is a 1-inch hole. I've got a piece of 3/4 inch PVC pipe, and I drilled that hole so that pipe will fit right through there. That's going to be my watering pipe, and I'll show you whenever I get it all put together. And then I cut another hole in it right here, and I just drilled a couple holes and then cut it out with my pocket knife to make it a little bit bigger. This is my wicking spot. So normally in a self-watering container you can have a piece of the container that hangs down, but this is a small container, so what I'm using is just cheesecloth, because that's what I've got. If you have landscaping fabric, that'll probably work. But all I'm going to do is take this cheesecloth, I'm going to stuff it down in there like so, and then, it's hard to show on camera, you can see it hangs out the bottom. I'm going to fill that part with the potting soil, and that cheesecloth keeps the soil from going everywhere. It works like a net, so it keeps the soil compact. I'm going to cover up this hole where the pipe goes through, and I'm going to stick the pipe through there as well, and that'll keep the dirt out of the water, keep them separated. And let me put this all together here, and I'll kind of show you what it looks like. Okay, so this is kind of what it looks like initially put together. I took the cheesecloth and I just draped it over the hole. I shoved it down in there. So I'm going to be able to fill that part with dirt. That'll be my wick that will wick the water up to the rest of it. And then I've got the hole over here for the water pipe. I just put a piece of cheesecloth over that. That's going to keep it from getting clogged up. I'm going to take this PVC pipe. So I'm going to stick it down right on top of that cheesecloth and push it through that hole until it goes down to the bottom. And then I'm pretty much ready to plant in here. So what will happen is I'll be able to fill this for here. The water will go into the bottom of the container up to about there. Whoops, up to about there. You can see it pretty easily. You don't want to fill it above that soil line right there, but you can see, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but you can see where the bottom of the bucket is right there. And you'll be able to see the water fill up to there. So I'll fill it up to there with water, and that will provide water for my plant and not have to worry about it going dry. So let me start off here by getting some dirt in the, and I'm not using dirt, I'm using a soil mix here. I want to pack it down pretty good inside that wicking chamber and make sure that it fills that up, because that's the part that's going to bring dirt, or going to bring water to the plant. This is pre-moistened potting mix. You don't want to use dirt in this, you want to use a potting mix. It's if you want to make your own, it's about 40% compost, 40% peat moss, a little bit of perlite in there. I'll do another video later on show how I make my potting soil, or my potting mix I should say. But this will provide the wicking that you need for your to get the water up to your plant. So let me go ahead and get this all situated. I'm going to plant thyme in this one, and I'll come back and I'll show you what it looks like all set up in the end. Here's the finished project. Nothing super pretty to look at right now, but you could build something pretty easily to cover that up. Just a little box that goes around it and decorate it up however you want, make it look nice and pretty. I'm not too worried about it, because after all I am slightly rednecked. But you get the idea of how it works. So again, you put the water in here, and this pipe goes all the way down to the bottom container. So it's going to fill the water up to, you want to fill it up to about the bottom of the container above that. The pouch that I've got in there that's holding the dirt, that, you know, the cheesecloth pouch that goes through the hole that's holding the dirt, that's going to soak that water up, wick it up to the rest of the container. So it should keep it pretty well watered. Again, you got to use potting mix in these, not soil, not dirt. You want to use a good potting mix, whether you make your own or whether you go buy one. It doesn't matter. Just get a good potting mix, or it won't provide the wicking action that you need it to provide. So let me put some water in this. It's a little bit tricky from the standpoint of a watering can, but there we go. And you can see, I don't know if you can see that on camera, but I'm putting water in there, and then I can just see down here, and it takes quite a bit of water actually. And I can see the water level down at the bottom. So I'm just going to fill it up until it hits the bottom container. Right about there. And that's all there is to it. The only other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of water-soluble fertilizer here on the top. Just a little bit. Sprinkle it on the dirt on the top. You don't water from the top. And then I'm going to mulch this with something. Probably some wood chips or something I'm going to put around it to mulch it. You could take the top of the container and cut a hole in it for the plant to stick through and use it as your mulch. Just something to keep the water in here and keep it from all evaporating off the soil. Again, you don't want to add fertilizer to this. You don't want to mix the fertilizer up and pour it on there. Just add a strip of fertilizer around. I'm going to use probably, I don't know, the fertilizer I've got has instructions and dosage amounts for container gardens. And it says, I think it's 8 ounces per gallon. This is a 1 gallon container, so about 8 ounces of it. And I'll just sprinkle it all around the dirt on the outside and add some mulch to it. And that's all there is to it. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. It's a little bit short. It's a little bit of an impromptu video. I just kind of put this together and thought I'd share it with my viewers just to get you kind of thinking a little bit more creative. You don't have to go all out with planters. You use stuff you got laying around the house. This thing didn't cost me anything to put together because I already had a piece of PVC pipe. If you don't have PVC pipe, you can use other things. Use a water bottle. 16-ounce water bottle. As long as it'll fit to the bottom, same kind of thing. Poke a hole in the bottom, put the water bottle cap down through there, fish it up through the top, and use it for your water funnel. It works the same way. So just whatever you got on hand, you can put it together. You can make it. Just get creative with it. Make sure if you're using containers like this, plastic containers for your pots, make sure it's food grade. I know this is food grade because it's an ice cream container, so they can carry ice cream in it. But there is a chance if you use some off plastics or whatever that you could get chemicals leaching into your food. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hopefully this gives you a little bit of inspiration. And as always, God bless.